The Lions get good news and bad news regarding injuries coming out of the Saints game to some key players. Let's get right into it. First one, Frank Ragnow. That was a big one. We saw him sitting there on the turf, and it's like he kind of had that look of like, great, ACL or something like that. It was just, it looked worse than it was. So news today turns out that Frank Ragnow, it's not a major injury. So it doesn't mean that he won't miss a couple weeks, is what Dan Campbell said, or a week, but it's not a major season-ending injury. So this is he is a huge piece to the offensive line because not only when he goes out are you missing him, but then other guys got to shuffle around, and it hurts because our guards now are weaker because Graham Glasgow has to move into center. So we're good. Frank is probably going to miss a game, maybe two, but it's not a season ender. Alex Anzalone, even more good news, noting that after missing the Saints game, Alex Anzalone has a chance to return for Sunday's game. So this was perfect. I think it's almost like he needed a rest week. A long season. He's like the key guy on our defense, always in the action. So it just kind of almost worked out, almost a little extra buy for Alex Anzalone. So love to see that. He will be back. Now, for the bad news, Alim mcniel. Alim mcniel didn't really get into exactly what happened, but he said Mac's a little banged up. We'll know more on him probably, I would say, a couple of days. So there's a good chance he may not be up this week. And so this is bad for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's real vague, but Dan Campbell, if he says he's not going to play, or so there's a chance, it means he's not going to play. It could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just don't know. But the problem is he's the only interior defensive lineman that's playing well at all this year. And really, you look at Alim mcniel and Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive line. Other than that, Pascal's been okay, but I mean, Jan Kaminsky, like, come on. Isaiah Buggs keeps getting healthy scratch. The other D tackles, they're all right, but Alim mcniel is an actual playmaker on the defensive line. So that's why that one really hurts. And speaking of that, let's take a look at some other observations from the game. And this shows you really how important Alim mcniel is. So Bruce Irvin makes an impact on a limited debut. So look at snap counts. This is always interesting to me. Nothing really to report with offense, running backs, nothing there as well. And then you get down to tight ends, Sam Laporta. What a star he is already. Man, I just love it because he already looks better, more fluid, catches the ball better blocker than TJ Hawkinson already. You ever notice when Hawkinson catches the ball, he like just gets crushed and he can't move and he's not very big. He's like a tweener. Oh, I can't stand him. Okay, keep going. Sorry. Wide receivers. Interesting one here. Amon-Ra St. Brown usually never comes off the field. He was at 79%. Fine. Still, I like that even. I like not giving him every rep. Like take a breather. And they split it up between Donovan Peoples-Jones and Josh Reynolds. And so that's fine. I'm good with this. This is kind of our five that we're going to roll with. Antoine Green was the fifth guy. Donovan Peoples-Jones replaces him. Still haven't seen much from Peoples-Jones, but maybe we'll get going. Love it. Okay. A lot of offensive linemen played because of the Taylor Decker injury. No real surprise there, but this is what I'm talking about. If Decker goes out, then Glasgow has to go inside, and then you've got Jonah Jackson. Swordsaw comes in. Skipper. A lot of skipper action. It seemed like he played more than 5 plays on offense. The way they're using him in motion and all that. Okay, edge. This is where it's interesting. Josh Pascal. Okay, playing decent, kind of where you'd expect him in year 2 or 3, whatever it is. John Kaminsky falling off. Bruce Irvin, what up? Thank you so much for doing something. Even the roughing the passer was like, thank you. Thank you for getting in there. Romeo Aquara, Charles Harris, and this is where it gets interesting. Romeo and Charles Harris played less snaps than Bruce Irvin, and that just kind of shows you where Romeo and Charles Harris is. Charles Harris, an incredible fall. He came in with being a captain and just a guy we were really counting on the opposite side of Hutchinson. And so this edge group has really been disappointing. And then Julian, pick your out of these 3. It's like pick. That's never good, right? It's like, let's see. Charles, I don't know. You're inactive this week. It's just so unfortunate because we're going to have to spend some resources up on the draft at this position. There's just no question about that. Another position I want to look at was, D tackle. So you look at it, Alim McNeil in there 70% of the time with Benito Jones. Bohanna's trying to get in there, but look at all these inactive dudes that someone's going to have to step up. So, Broderick, is it, which one of these three is going to step up for us? I don't know. I mean, Levi really hasn't played. Isaiah Buggs has been surprising from day one this year, and Broderick Martin tried to get him in. He just got mowed over by the Raiders. So another defensive line is just not championship worthy. And that's the problem. We keep talking about the defense. What's wrong with the defense? It's the defensive line. There's one star and Hutchinson, and even him is, he's kind of leveled off since the start of the season. So it's tough to see that. So anyway, good news, bad news on the injury front. I think just the fact that nobody is in like serious season enders is good news all around. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this. Lions 9-3. Love it. We'll see you on the next one.